right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Chiefs Chat with the Guys. It's me, I'm Wild Bill. My buddy Chad, right over there on the split screen. So, what is happening, Mr. Chad?
Well, after the nightmare of a Super Bowl, and I'm recovering,
Yep.
and the way I have, you know, got over it is, hey, if you were to tell me that 3 out of 5 Super Bowls, even having 5 Super Bowls in the last 6 years, and you win 3 of them, hey, man, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I looked at all the franchises that don't have Super Bowl wins or have just one, and it's quite a few. We'll do that a show on that some other time. But so I mean, yeah, get some lip from the Eagles fans and stuff. But I don't think the Eagles will go back to back. But then again, we'll see here. Now it's already free agents.
Oh, yeah.
Is coming up, and
Yeah.
then the draft is April 24th. So
Yeah. The Chiefs definitely been doing a lot of moving, a lot of shaking up. We talked back in the season that they were going to that they were probably going to be restructuring some pays on some of the players, and that's exactly what they did with Mahomes and Chris Jones. Restructured their contracts and freed up a bunch of cap space, so that helped out a lot. Yeah, the cap space went up a little bit again this year, but not near enough. So they definitely had to mess around and play with some numbers and get things going there, help them out a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if how do I even say that? They had to free up room to get new players and to keep the guys that we needed. So I just
yeah, sign some of our guys in free agency. So that's you're right. I'm glad they did that. They reassigned Juju
yep.
Miss Schuster, and Kareem Hunt, and then they Trey Smith on our offensive line. Got franchise tagged him. And then they traded Joe Tooney. What did you think of them trading Joe Tooney? What do you think?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I hate to lose any of the good players that we've had. I mean, because we've done so good that you hate to lose any good player. But maybe we are getting a better player, somebody that'd work out a little bit better. I don't really know yet. So, I mean, that's one of those things I'm kind of iffy on. I'm still
Yeah.
on the fence.
Well, that's my question. Is that that's one of the big reasons we lost the Super Bowl was the offensive line.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of scary that they got rid of him, but at the same time, they got Jalen Moore, offensive line left tackle. We'll see. I mean, he's from San Francisco, and I will say, San Francisco, they produce good offensive linemen. So, and then, so I think that was one of our downfalls, and keeping Trey Smith is one of our best.
Yeah.
And then you see what they do during the draft here, because I don't know how that's going to work out. I mean, I
Yeah.
hope it works out good, because if that's a problem if it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was our biggest issue this last season is our O line was weak. The only way, I mean, well, I don't think it'd been that great the last 2 years, really. I mean, it was good, but it's just been getting weaker. And I think Mahomes just had that magic about him to keep it going as well as he did. You know, but he should have had to scramble and have to run around like a chicken with his head cut off at times, trying to get away from these guys, because he should have had better protection.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know,
and
I'll start
you gotta blame coaching.
offensive line. So,
You got to blame coaching for that. And then, you know, they didn't get the people that we needed. And
yeah, it starts at the top. You're right.
yeah, and you know, we did. I think we did really good for the most part through the season. You know, losing the Super Bowl was a huge hit. I mean, that sucked. I mean, especially to get that big, that you know, to take that heavy of a loss, that big of a loss
Yeah.
after going just so hard.
Well, and like I said, I go back to the offensive line again.
Yeah,
Is that you take Joe Tooney and move him to left tackle? You know, it was just okay. But the problem is, in your running game suffers. So when you're playing a defense like Philly, I have to roll up my window here. It's loud.
yeah,
But if you're playing a defense like Philly and you can't run the ball, that would solve the team off. Them pinning their ears back and coming after the quarterback. He couldn't do nothing. So if you could have run the ball, you know, in that light box, because only really we're rushing 4 guys, that would have stopped that.
yeah,
They would have had to restart rethinking how they're going to attack the defense. So, within saying that, I hope they have a running game this year. I think that's going to make up for a lot if they can just run the ball more.
yeah. That'd be good.
And then with the new running backs we got, I mean, of course, Kareem Hunt's coming back.
Yeah.
But you got Elijah Mitchell from San Francisco, free agent. The problem with him is he had a lot of injuries, but he's really fast. So they're banking on that he can make some explosive plays. And Will Pacheco recover from the injury, because when he came back from that injury, he hasn't been quite the same.
Yeah.
So, then they got cornerback Christian Fulton from the Chargers.
Yep.
He's supposedly a playmaker, so hopefully that'll help us on defense.
Yeah.
And we lost Reed for safety. And trying to think, anybody else we lost? You had a cornerback that you sent me the information on. Fuller, was it?
I don't even remember at this point.
Stephen Fuller. Yeah, I mean, he was just a, special teams player mainly.
Yeah.
So what is it if you're in a draft? Let's go to the draft now. I mean, we just kind of skim through here. Some of the free agents we got, because some of this is old news. But in the draft, we're going to pick 31st. What position would you go for, Bill?
Well, we definitely have to keep working on rebuilding the O-line. I mean, that's the biggest thing right now for us. I mean, I think we've got pretty much everything else covered. You know, the biggest thing I think is making that O-line stronger to give Mahomes more time to make the big plays that he needs to make. I mean, if he's just having to do the quick throws and he's only getting a yard or two or breaking even, it's not worth that. You know, he's got to be able to make those big explosive plays. I mean, that's what the Chiefs are known for. That's what Mahomes is known for. So we've got to be able to get, the players to give him that time to move that ball where it needs to go, and hopefully keep him from running the ball himself as much. Because man, that's scary when he's running that ball. Because you never want to see any quarterback get hit, especially your own. You don't want to see them going down and getting hurt. Especially with them having the ankle issue now and then. we just, man, we got to be careful.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I watched Michael Dorsey on Chief Sports Report, and the guy from Show Me Football doing a mock draft on there last night, and they were talking. And I'm thinking, well, our defense is okay. I mean, yeah, we need some defensive linemen, maybe, some depth there. But what we really need is to make our offense really potent and really like where it scores a lot of points,
Oh yeah,
because that's what happened in the Super Bowl. We couldn't score nothing until the end, and by
exactly.
that time it was garbage time. So you're right. The offensive line, I'm thinking they really need to boost that up. Not sure we got to, about the left guard, but maybe draft a running back too that's really explosive, because again, they are figuring the offense out, so we need to shake up our offense a little bit and
Oh
go
yeah,
to. I think we need to go to more play action fake offense, and then build up that O line, get some big guys in there where they can just pound the ball, pound the rock down the field.
yeah. Well, I mean, the Chiefs have always been known as a running team until here recently, and so and I think a big part of that is because we now have Mahomes, and he's just got such an arm on him, and he's really good at getting that guy out, at getting his guys uh, when they're open, getting the ball to them. But I really think that we need to get more. We need to get back into doing more running, because the little bit that we've had, I mean, unless they break out for the big yards, which isn't very often, um, I just, they just don't seem to get the yards running that they used to at all by a long shot.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think they
yeah.
put a bit more effort into getting into rebuilding the running game. That'd definitely help us out a lot too. That'd give Mahomes more options.
Yeah, that you know, again, I think the number one reason we lost or had even close games all year long is because we should have been more efficient on offense to be able to run the ball.
Yeah,
Um, I know that they have opportunities to put the team away, and if they just run out the clock and grind, and then yeah, it's more. Andy Reid's known for the passing offense, but I'm not even saying he's got to do it more than passing. But if they're down to 20%, they need it to be at 45, I think. And
yeah,
I mean, that's just my way of thinking. But we'll see what happens with the offensive line and the receivers. And also, we re-signed Holiday Brown back, and let's see that if he plays for a whole season, that he can be better than what he was when he came back from his injury. So last year we were hit up with a lot of injuries right
yeah,
off the bat, and then so now will Rice be suspended? From the drag racing down in Texas, and then you had a scare there with Worthy with he got arrested, but they dropped the charges. But I
yeah,
feel like his ex still coming after him, so we'll see what happens with that. I mean, can we just go through a season or an off season where there's no drama,
yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that and see if they can actually have their whole team out there for all year long. That'd make a difference.
Yeah. Well, I know the NFL said they won't do anything until the court case is settled with Rice. So, um, who knows where that's even going to go at this point. It didn't look like it was going too far anyway. I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I just heard that there's other things coming out about it that they've just been saying that you need to just wait until everything happens and just go from there.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and predict, we go to Super Bowl again. I don't think we'll ever be out of it. I think that every year we'll have a chance to be in a tournament. We'll be in the playoffs. But some things are going to have to change. But there's in free agency, there's been even the Eagles have lost players.
Oh yeah,
and there's been a lot of change. San Francisco lost a huge amount of players, so it's gonna. I want to tell you what, Chicago and Washington. I just watching some of them; they look really good.
Yeah.
So I just we'll see what happens here with that. Oh, and so when the draft comes up, I like to see if we can find some type of app, and you and I can see if we can do a pre-mock draft. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
See if we can get that going. But I just wanted to do a short video today to get back into this, and we'll have more information and stuff like this. But the information and content will start picking back up here after during the draft.
Yep. Yeah. Well, hopefully, I don't know if we're going to go to the Super Bowl this next year. I don't know. It's kind of doubtful to me, but I mean, I don't think we should count out the Chiefs. I mean, they're just
no.
And
no.
I definitely think that we're going to have another chance at another three-peat. So, they're not giving up on that.
Well, I don't think they should, and I'm not doubting the Chiefs at all. They're right up there, always in the top 3 or 4 teams that are going to have a chance to make it.
Yep.
And that's all that matters. And I like it when people doubt us, like they already are, saying the Chargers are going to win a division. And you can't look past anybody. I don't care if they're a 2-12 team. Anytime you play a team, you have to play your best. So this is the NFL. You're going to lose if you don't play your best, even if a team is 0-12. So, anyways,
okay.
Let's like, subscribe, and we will have more content after the draft here. So, I think that starts on the 24th, which is, well, actually, that's April. Well, that's about a month away or so. That's a little bit away. So that's next month, and we'll talk more about draft. Let's see. Let's start looking at some players, some top 3 players I would like to get on offense and defense. So we'll do that, Bill. We'll do the next show about the draft and see what players we would like to get.
All right, sounds great. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again for another episode of Chiefs Chat with the Guys. Once again, I'm Wild Bill. That's Chad over there on the split screen. So y'all have a great one. Be safe out there. We love you. Please share, like, and subscribe to help us grow. Thanks, guys. Y'all take her easy.
Peace out.